Welcome back to a brand new episode of Mastering Programming. In today's episode, I'm so excited to talk about the tool that I'm about to talk about. Now, there is almost like 1,000 videos on YouTube already discussing the exact same thing that I'm going to be talking about and the exact same tool, and that is Flow by Google Labs or by Google. Now, this tool is insane. First of all, it creates videos entirely just by prompt, so you can enter some text, a paragraph explaining what you would like your scene to have, and it will straight away create that scene for you. At the moment, there are some limitations which I'm going to go over, but overall, I think anyone that will have a look at this tool will have their minds completely blown. The pricing is actually pretty decent for the stuff it can do, and I'm going to walk you through everything. Now, we're going to talk about pricing, we're going to talk about some of the features it has, and then I'll also show you what I've created with it so far. Now, because I'm not that good yet, it's not going to be a tutorial on how to use it. This is just more of an AI tool that I found very impressive and very cool, and I'm very excited to share it with you. So we're going to start sharing the screen, and I hope that you can now see my screen. All I did to get here is just literally typed in Flow on Google, and it took me here. Now, it is owned by Google, so it's obviously going to be at the top. Now, as you can see, very cool. All we can see here is where the next wave of storytelling happens with VEO. Now, Google recently released VEO3, which is incredible. It can create video and audio for you and subtitles, but we're going to talk about that in a second. And I just want to walk over the website first and some of the features it has. So first of all, the UI, amazing. You actually feel creative just by going on the UI and playing around. And as you start scrolling, you'll see that all these videos have actually been created entirely just by text. Someone entered a prompt, and this is what it generated. I'm not sure if you'll be able to hear the audio, but let's quickly have a look at what people have created, or the introduction.
I don't know if I'm on the right path, but I'm trying to find it. I'm questioning, searching, and then something shifts, and I'm not trying anymore, I'm just doing. And all of the pieces start falling into place.
It all feels pretty clear in my head. I see these like flashes of possibilities, almost like I'm traveling through dimensions.
I'm looking down at myself and my characters in these different worlds, and it's almost coming to life on their own, even though I know I'm in control of that narrative. It feels like it's almost building upon itself at some point. You know, you could have an infinite amount of endings to your story.
So the work isn't built brick by brick by brick. It blooms like a spontaneous garden. It grows naturally, fully vibrant and complete.
I'm not forcing it, I'm just finding it. And
So, insane introductory video. By the way, all the videos that you've seen just now are created by Flow. So none of this was edited by anyone or created by any artists. Someone just typed in text, and all the stuff that you've seen was created. And if you think it takes like a professional to create some of these, you're absolutely wrong. You might need some practice to definitely perfect it, but as I'll show you, you can definitely create some really cool things straight away. We'll just keep going down a little bit, and I want to highlight some of the features that it has. Is that it's not just a matter of creating a video. So at the moment, it's limited to only 8 seconds per prompt. So you type in a prompt, it will generate 8 seconds of video and audio, or sometimes audio is not included, but if you do include it, it will be included. But you might be wondering, well, what happens after this 8 seconds? Now, if your video does not include audio, so if it's using VEO2, you can do something called extend, where you generate a scene for 8 seconds and then extend that scene by entering a new prompt and following along. So you can say, David enters a room, and that takes 8 seconds. And then you extend that and say, once he enters the room, he finds a clock hanging on the wall, and so on. Now, at the moment, that extend feature is currently not available with sound, so you can only do it using VEO2, and it will cut out. You will not be able, if you are using VEO3, you will not be able to just say he walks in and finds this. However, there are things you can do to sort of make the character consistent, so that you can write a prompt and a 2 and then combine it together. And I will show you the flow editor and we're going to create some cool stuff together. But as we go down, what I like about this is that they're really trying to highlight what everyone's creating. And you can click on watch short films. We're introduced with, I guess, 3 of their top videos that they're happy with, because there's only 3 at the moment. So you've got this one. You've also got the freelancers one, which looks incredible, by the way. Again, just remember that all of this was generated by text to like a prompt to a video, nothing else. And you can see how realistic everything looks. You can see how cinematic everything looks, really. We can watch it. And there's also this final one. Now, something else on the website is that they have a whole list of channels. Now, you can shuffle through all of them as if you're actually watching somewhere. You can go and click on any of these. And these are people that have just created channels and are posting some videos created by Flow. I am assuming that in the future, there will be whole channels on YouTube just generating income and money just by AI channels. And I'm looking forward to see how that works. Aside from channels, you can also click on Watch Flow TV, which will show you just random stuff that has been generated by random people. And you can, I like how you do this because you can click on this and you get to see what other people wrote in order to get this video, which is very helpful if you're getting started. So you can see in this one, for example, all it said is 360 video, tiny city planet, and so on. And it comes up with really cool stuff. And you can, again, shuffle here. But again, as you can see, very realistic views. Most of these don't have audio because I can tell they've been generated by VEO3, but I will show you how VEO3 works. All right, so far we've looked at the functionality, we've looked at some cool videos. Now this is the pricing. Believe it or not, you can actually right now just go and sign up entirely for free for 1 month and you'll get access to VEO3. So with VEO3, you'll get text to video, frames to video, video extension, camera control, screen builder, up to HD scaling, and top-up credits available. I'm not actually sure what that is, but it's really cool. You basically get your own studio where you can just enter text and generate videos. And with the $124.99 a month, or actually for 3 months, you get everything over here plus ingredients, and ingredients is something cool that I didn't get the chance to experiment with. But at the moment, VEO3, I actually think this is a really good deal. After that 1 month free, it becomes $19 or $20 a month, which again is great for how much you can actually do. It takes like around a minute to generate a video, an 8-second video. If you combine that, you can make like a minute video and then combine it even in your tutorials or anything like that. Anyways, let's get started and actually create a video, or let me just show you the actual studio. So in order to get started, you just need to click on Create with Flow. And again, this is not necessarily like a how-to or a tutorial. This is just more of demonstrating what I've created so far. Now I created, I think, 4 different videos. This is the UI. It's pretty cool. And I'll show you the first one that I created. So I'm going to click on it. Again, I'm not too sure if you'll be able to hear the audio, but I'm going to put it to the max and hope for the best. So this is the first video that I created. Here it is. And you can see here that in order to view it, I just clicked the same girl sees flying dinosaur and so on. Let's have a look at the actual video all put together. And I have it saved. Let me just try and find it. Ah, there we go. So you can actually download it, and this is how it looks like downloaded. So I'm going to extend this. And again, it was 20 seconds. So this was 3 videos put together.
Oh, we have to make it past that cliff.
So I just want to comment something really quickly here. This was created very quickly, but as you can tell, the first scene included some audio. And then when I clicked on the extend feature, it told me that the extend feature only works with VEO2, which does not include audio. And that's why the following scenes, in order to make it still connect and match everything, which was actually very easy to do, it did not include any audio. Now, this is the first example of what I created. I'll show you the second one Now this one is my favorite one that I created so far because to some extent it is a little bit consistent. It's also the longest one that I created. It was 48 seconds. So let me just play that. We're not going to play the whole thing, but I just want to show you what you can create. The subtitles, as I mentioned before, are completely ruined. They don't make any sense. So what I will be doing in the future is actually remove the subtitles and then add my own. Let's have a look.
I want to show you how you can point at 5 different body parts. First instruction, touch your head. Second
So I think this is pretty cool. I just asked it to create like a mini cartoon for little kids, and then I said, provided the instructions. And as you can see, the monkey is actually fully pausing and then it touches its head and so on. So it's responding really good. There's great audio in this. There's even a little dance at the end. Let me show you. Amazing. Now, just obviously some faults that are spotted straight away. The giraffe is on 4 fingers. Yeah, it still has hands. That doesn't make sense. But, you know, this was done in like 5 minutes, 10 minutes tops. So it's actually pretty good what it's capable of. Now I want to go back to Flow and show you the UI and how it works. So you get all your projects generated. Again, everything you're looking at is entirely created straight away on Flow. And right now what we will do is I want to generate a video with you and I want to show you how it works. So I'm going to click on new project and we're going to start the first one with VEO3 so that we can include audio, and then I'm going to click extend, and then we're going to be switching to VEO2, which will extend the scene, but it will not include any audio. So I'm going to describe like a random video. Let's just say hyper realistic 2 giants throwing the Statue of Liberty over the pyramids of Egypt. The giants are talking about football while they are throwing the Statue of Liberty. Now obviously I'm going to click enter now, and obviously the more descriptive and more detailed you are, the better the outcome. So you can fully give Flow a very detailed description on what you would like to create and it will create it, or you can just play around and provide something like that, very random, and I just wanted to make it quick and it will still do it. It will actually be very cool, but I want to show you an example of generating something with sound and then how we can extend it. And I just want to point out that if you want to include audio, you still can use VEO3, except you will now have to give very detailed description of your characters, and that way when you go to the next scene you can sort of move on to the next scene by just explaining the characters exactly the same and the city and so on, and that way Flow creates the same thing. While this is loading, I also wanted to highlight that on the free membership you start off with 1000 AR credits, and every video at the current setting, so you've got view 1, outputs per prompt. You can create like 4 videos in one prompt. I'm using fast. Now, if I click VEO3 quality, for example, it will use 100 credits. But at the moment, it uses only 20 credits because I have it basically on the lowest settings. At the moment, that's what I'll be doing because I'm just learning. So I don't want to waste my credits on things that don't make sense. Anyways, this is about to load. So I'm going to pause the video and I'll start it again as soon as this loads and we're going to watch it together. Okay, so we can see that the movie is loaded. So what I'll do is I'll expand this. I'll click full screen and let's go ahead and play it and see how it looks like.
Man, that was a terrible pass last Sunday.
I know, right? He totally choked under pressure.
Man, that was a terrible pass last Sunday.
I know, right?
I guess with the minimal description that I provided, this can pass as a good video. What I'll do is now, in order to create different scenes and create a full movie, is I'm going to go ahead and click on add to scene. And so this one is now our first scene. And I'm going to click over here, and now I get to click on extend. Now it's going to say it can't do it. So, or actually let's give it a go. It seems like it can. Oh yeah, it will create it, but it will not have audio. So let's go ahead and have a look. I will say 2 fighter jets fly over the giants with the American flag colors, or I guess let's say 3. Coming out of the jets. Once the giants see the jets, they run away screaming mama. Let's give that a shot. Yeah, he will ask us to switch to VEO2, which I'll do. And also I just realized I asked it to scream, but we will not have audio. So let's go ahead and see how this looks like. Now, because we clicked extend and we switched to VEO2, what should happen is that we should get almost exactly the same sort of scene vibes with the pyramids and so on, the exact same characters, so the exact same giants, plus additions to what we already have. Not sort of like change the characters around, which you would have if you just randomly start writing prompts. Let's wait a few seconds and I'll start this video again. Okay, so the second scene loaded. Let's have a look. We're gonna play it all together. So this is the first scene.
Man, that was a terrible pass last Sunday.
I know, right? He totally choked under pressure.
Second scene.
Man.
All right, so I guess we moved from the first scene to the second scene, and we managed to generate the same exact giants, same Statue of Liberty. Like, it seemed like it's exactly the same. You couldn't tell that it was cut. In fact, I'm gonna play it again here and move from the first scene to the second scene, and the only reason we can identify that we did move is because the audio stops. The jets came through, they came back the other way with the flag, and then they started running. Now, here is where your logic as a human being comes in. You need to start writing descriptions on which direction they started running from. So are you from the jets or towards? Here they ran towards the jets, which doesn't really make sense. The jets went that way and then came back, while inside my brain, I imagined them going just north straight away towards the pyramids. So again, these are all things that with your description, you can completely make this so much better. Anyways, I hope you did enjoy this episode. It was something different. It's a tool that I personally haven't even became like an expert in, but I thought I would introduce it straight away and we can learn it together. I'll be documenting my progress or how I'm going with that tool as I'm going, and I'll be posting hopefully much more regular videos, and I'm really excited about it. So I'm sure you guys are excited as well, and I'll be very excited to share it around. Thanks so much, and I hope to see you in the next episode.